Hey all, it's Fox. They told us that DNA was random, that life was the product of chance, a billion years of accidents filtered through survival. But what if that's not the whole story? Because hidden within your cells are strange patterns, mathematical signatures, and what some believe are embedded messages. Your body may not just contain code, it may be code, and someone or something may have written it. DNA, nature's code, or something more. We used to think DNA was just a biological instruction manual, a list of pairs, a how-to guide for building a body. But over the last few decades, a growing number of scientists, theorists, and codebreakers have started asking a different question. What if DNA isn't like code? What if DNA is code? Not just organic information, but designed, intentional, and possibly artificial. The basics of DNA, code within code. DNA is made up of 4 basic chemicals: adenine A, thymine T, cytosine C, and guanine G. Just 4 letters. Yet, in the human genome, those letters appear in a precise sequence over 3 billion times. And the order of those letters dictates everything: your eye color, your metabolism, even how your brain wires itself. Zoom in far enough and you start to see something familiar: sequences, commands, repetition, a syntax. It's not just biological, it's computational. In fact, DNA and computer code aren't that different. Just like how binary uses 1s and 0s to store data, DNA uses 4 letters to build a living system. DNA isn't like code, it is code. Junk DNA, useless or hidden. Here's where things get strange. Only about 1.5% of human DNA actually codes for proteins, the functional building blocks of your body. The rest, over 98%, is what scientists used to call junk DNA. They assumed it was evolutionary leftovers, broken code, useless noise. But now that idea is falling apart. Some parts of so-called junk DNA show repeating patterns, others contain symmetry, self-correction, or what looks like syntax, like grammar. One group of scientists found linguistic structures in DNA that mirror human language. So the question becomes, if DNA is storing more than biological information, what else could be hidden in it? Is it compression, encryption, or something planted? Patterns and frequencies, the math inside life. The deeper researchers look, the more mathematical DNA appears. They found Fibonacci sequences in gene expression, golden ratios in protein folding, and redundancy patterns, error correction systems built into the genome. It's almost like DNA knows it'll be damaged and builds in repair instructions. Think about that, it's not just reactive, it's anticipatory. That's something we see in intelligent design, not random mutation. DNA as a data storage device. If DNA is a storage medium, how much could it actually hold? In 2012, scientists at Harvard successfully encoded a 53,000-word book, 11 images, and a short video into synthetic DNA. And it worked. Later, a team stored 215 petabytes of data, roughly every movie ever made, in just 1 gram of DNA. Let that sink in. 1 gram of biological material can hold the entire history of human civilization. Now, ask yourself, if we could do that now, could someone else have done it before? Could DNA be a message system waiting to be decoded? The messages theorists claim to have found. Some researchers and fringe theorists believe that DNA already contains messages embedded long ago. One controversial claim pointed to numerical sequences in the genome that align with Hebrew and Sumerian texts, including the Tetragrammaton, a 4-letter name for God. Others, like Francis Crick, who co-discovered the structure of DNA, proposed the idea of directed panspermia, the theory that life on Earth was seeded intentionally by an advanced civilization. And in Stephen Meyer's Signature in the Cell, he argues that DNA carries the mark of conscious design, that its complexity cannot be explained by natural processes alone. Sound far-fetched? Sure, but no one can explain why DNA looks so much like optimized, error-resistant information technology. DNA and ancient symbolism. Long before we discovered DNA, ancient civilizations were obsessed with spirals, snakes, and twin strands. The double helix shows up in ancient Sumerian carvings. The caduceus, a symbol of medicine, is a staff with 2 serpents intertwined. Even tribal carvings in the cave art often spiral in patterns that resemble genetic structure. How did they know? How could they know? Were they symbolically tuning into something deeper, or did they have knowledge we've lost? The big question, who put it there? Let's ask the question directly. If DNA is code and that code appears designed, who or what wrote it? There are 4 possibilities. Number 1. Natural evolution. Random mutation over billions of years somehow produced highly optimized self-repairing code that also looks like a computer language. Number 2. Ancient aliens. A civilization far older than ours seeded Earth with life, either as an experiment or a message. Number 3. Simulation designers. If we live in a simulation, DNA could be the subroutine, the operating system for our physical shells. And number 4. God. The most ancient explanation. Life was created by an intelligent being, and the proof is in the pattern. We don't have an answer, not yet, but the more we learn about DNA, the less random it appears and the more intentional it feels. The body is a vessel for information. You're not just made of cells, you're not just made of matter, you are made of code. Billions of precise instructions, replicated, stored, and executed in perfect harmony. So the question isn't just what DNA is, it's why it's there, and who, if anyone, wanted it to be. You're not just made of code, you are code, and someone or something may have written it.